Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. Hope you had a great weekend. I am Yori Folare, and our guest this morning is Honorable Ogena Emma Ego. He's a former member of, a two-time former member of the House of Representatives, 8th and 9th, and he's also a former ECOWAS Parliament member. A fine morning to you, Honorable Ego.
Thank you very much, Folari. I'm happy to be with you once more. Thank you.
Pleasure is all ours. Okay, then. Okay, this morning we'll talk about the Lagos-Calabar highway. It's a big project. A project such as, quite frankly, is the biggest. The idea is that it's going to be running across. It's going to be expected to run through 9 states. And it's going to have a railroad running in the middle of it. It definitely will improve greatly tourism. And ultimately, it's supposed to connect up as far afield as from Lagos as Sokoto. Of course, you also are aware that since the Minister of Works, David Umahi, has sort of unveiled the plans for it, work has started in earnest in Lagos. But there are those who are speaking against it on account of their losing out, and also on account of there being an original plan that didn't do as much collateral damage, so to speak, as the one that we're now operating. I guess the thing to do is, first of all, let me get your perspective, Honorable Ego, on 1, the road, and then 2, the talk that has surrounded it since its announcement and commencement of work from the Lagos end.
Folari, let me thank you for bringing me to talk about this project. This project, the Coastal Road, has been on for a long time. As somebody who has been in the politics of Lagos for a long time, before coming to the House of Rep, I was a councillor in Lagos, supervising councillor, and at the stage I was still Public Secretary of Federal government, which Sir Michael Oteda headed. And so I consider myself a full Lagosian. Let me say that this is the best project that has ever been done, starting from Lagos, apart from the Third Mainland Bridge. This project is a great project, and it's going to benefit all those that produce the goods that lays the golden egg for Nigeria. Look at it, for instance. This is a mighty project, like we have said, and it's going to be one of the biggest projects ever in the country. And it is reasonable and it's well-deserved. For instance, Lagos State produces the highest amount of money for VAT. And if you talk about taxation, money that goes to the Federation account, Lagos State produces that. Then this road is passing through Ogun State. It goes to Ondo State, which is an oil-producing area. It goes to Edo State, which is an oil-producing area. Delta State, a very major oil producing area. Bayelsa State, major oil producing area. Rivers, major, the same thing with Akwa Ibom, and then it runs to Calabar. So this project is one project that the president wants to use to thank the oil producing areas for what they are doing for the country. I think Nigerians, and especially everybody from Niger Delta, everybody from the oil producing area, they need to thank Mr. President. We need to thank President Tinubu for bringing this project up. We had our own, who is President Jonathan. He couldn't do it. Even Obasanjo's time, we talked about this project. Even Buhari's time, this project was awarded for by 11 trillion, although it was not as expensive billion dollars. It was not as expensive as this one. But yet, they did not even start off. But right now, over 1 kilometer have been done. Safili have started. It shows that the president is serious about this project. And I can tell you that everybody in Niger Delta will be quite happy with the president, because this project will reduce the traveling time of Lagos to Warri, for instance, by over 2 hours. And the same thing, traveling to Port Harcourt by several hours. So this project is going to save money, it will save costs, it's also going to bring more investment, it's going to open up the Niger Delta area. And for those who are contributing the highest amount of money to this country and also suffering a lot of inconveniences as a result of the oil production. This is a project that is dear to their heart, and is a project that I can tell you that Nigerians should support. Anybody who is not supporting this project, I think is doing it for a selfish reason. Because if any other part of Nigeria, yes.
Honorable, let's tarry a while on that point. When you say whoever is not supporting this, it might be for a selfish reason. As you know, there are those who will be greatly affected by this. They stand to lose some investments. They allege that if you look at the original plan for this highway, it didn't, take on as much potential damage to existing investors. One of which is saying that, look, it's been in that area from 2017. And so they are saying that, yes, as this is benefiting everybody else, as this is benefiting, quite frankly, the nation, is there not a way for the federal government to look into adjusting it to mitigate that damage? So they are saying that it's possible to arrive at what has been referred to as a win-win situation. And it needs to be said that the federal government has set up what it calls a compensation committee to look into those who will be so affected. But what do you think of the plea of those who are going to be affected by this laudable project that we're talking about?
Yeah, I think the plea of those who will be affected economically, whose properties, they will lose a lot of properties, they will also lose a lot of investment because of this project. If they make a plea, it's not a bad idea, and I think government can look at it. The good thing about it is that government have said they are going to provide compensation. Whether the compensation will be adequate is another issue. But the minister have said that the president is willing to concede to those who will suffer serious economic hardship because of it, is willing to ensure that they are provided with compensation. So what I think that such group need to do is to continue to dialogue with the Minister for Works and with the committee that is talking about compensation. When they do that, of course, they will, whatever they are losing, at least they will get some amelioration. If there are areas where they can meander the road, so as not to affect some communities and some investments, serious investments in a good manner, of course. And if it would not affect the concept of the road, there's nothing wrong in that. But this project must not be stopped because the oil producing area are now aware that Tinubu is willing to compensate them and to open up their area for the sacrifice they are making for the country. So whatever complaints there are, this project have to go on. But of course, government must listen to the complaints of Nigerians, those who will be affected, to see what they can do to make to reduce the suffering they will suffer as a result of this project. But this project, like I said, is one project that the whole nation needs to applaud Mr. President for doing. I've said it somewhere else that this president is a bold president. He's not afraid to take on very bold issues. This is one of it. And we want to encourage him. We don't want him to be discouraged, because when he does it, all people from Niger Delta will be quite happy. And they are the people sacrificing. You can imagine what they have been suffering as a result of oil production. No single project, the federal government have not done any single important project for the Niger Delta people in as much as 40 or 50 years. It's part of the sacrifice they are making. So for Tinubu to think about it and to bring this project must be carried to its logical conclusion.
Indeed. Well, as you say, you said it, but there are people, people feel very, very, very sensitively about their communities. The Etiosa local government apparently will take a big hit on this. These are traditional settlements, so it brings up the matter of, look, they're going to have to find a way to resettle people if this project is indeed going to go. And by all indications, it's not a matter of if, it actually has started. Well, let me bring up something else for your consideration. The time span, the time span for this, I think it's supposed to span something around the next 8 years or so, of which the Tinubu administration, has used 1 year already, being positively minded, assuming that when elections come around, the ruling party wins again. So if in the best case scenario, that's 8 years. There are those who are concerned that given the pace of construction in Nigeria and even elements like the unknown, how can we be sure that work can be done and be brought to a successful conclusion within 8 years? They cite, for example, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Lord knows how long that has taken, even though it was supposed to be a quick in and out kind of an affair. What do you think about that other unknown aspect? It's one thing to project it to be to take as long as around 8 years, but nobody knows what's going to come up.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are sometimes man proposes, they say God disposes. There are vagaries of issue, finance, and others that can delay projects. But the most important thing in a project of this magnitude is the willpower. And the president has demonstrated it. As we speak to you, over 1 kilometer of the road have been done. We have seen it on television. And we've seen some feeling going on very seriously.
And we have
already.
700.
So
it's a 700. It's
yeah,
a 700.
We have 700. Yeah, we know. We have 700. The only appeal I will make to Mr. President and to Minister of Work is to say, let the whole work not start from only Lagos. A part of it can start off in Delta. Other parts can start from Kwai Bob going to Calabar, so that the project starts from 3 different areas. That way, the Nigerian Delta people will know that that we are genuine. Otherwise, they will say, "Oh, the president just wants to handle the aspect of Lagos and leave their areas abandoned." But I'm sure that high tech, with what they did in Babish, and the road they did from Apapa down to Ushodi Expressway, we know they can start this project, put it in 3 different areas, so that the Nigerian Delta people can feel that, oh, this road is a reality. And once they do that, I'm very sure they will complete it with that 8 years period.
It's a landmark, no pun intended, project. It's a real epoch-making event. There are critics of it who have said that, President Tinubu, he's interested in, doing something, on a very wide, on a very large scale, a large splash within his first year in office. That is said by way of criticism, not encouragement. Sort of suggesting that, and along the lines that you were speaking about just a few minutes earlier, a few seconds earlier, why is it the Lagos-Calabar road? So the criticism continues. Why is it not the Calabar Lagos? Why is it not
the Lagos-Calabar road?
Why is it not the Calabar Lagos road? Why is it not the Calabar Lagos road?
Well, I appreciate that, but it has to start from somewhere. The important thing is that this project that was conceived over 20 years ago, nobody had dared to start it. The project has started. But like I said again, I'm sure that the Minister for Works and the President will be listening. Let it also start from the other part, from other areas in Niger Delta. It could be done, different sections, until we're able to marry them together. But for those who say, oh, the President wants to be able to deliver a major project, I said there's nothing wrong with that. That's the aim of governance. If the President wants to deliver a major project, and he chooses this very, very important project, a road that affects the people who contribute the highest amount of money through oil resources, who contribute over 80% of the nation's foreign exchange, who have been suffering the brunt of financing the country. For the president to choose that road, it shows that the president is a man who is interested in the people's affairs, who is interested in compensating those who the goose are laid the golden egg. I'm sure that if the Niger Delta, who produces oil, was somewhere maybe in Northwest, I can tell you the country would not be able to benefit. They will say they will take in their own money. But the Niger Delta people have been patient with the government and they have been persevering. Now that Mr. President has said, let me do this project, I don't think we need to criticize it. We need to encourage the president to finish this project. Because if he finishes this project, look, it will make movement very easy. It will open up the area to tourism. It will open up to economic development. And the restiveness in the area will be less. And the people of Niger Delta will say, okay, if the president can recognize our contribution towards Nigeria's development, we don't need to continue to agitate. Let us, be patient, more will come. So it's a landmark project. No matter what you say about it, this project is one good project. Even if they say, it costs so much money, so what? The people produce the money and the people are using the road to do their thing. And this project is one in a lifetime. And the minister has said this project will last for over 50 to 100 years. And I believe the minister for works, because he's an experienced man, he did it before in the state, and since he came in, he's a structural engineer, so he knows what he's talking about. So if this project, as they're doing it, they do it and it lasts that long time, I can tell you that it will make the nation more peaceful, and everybody will know that the government of Nigeria appreciates those who are contributing towards the development of the nation.
You just spoke about money there. It's an ultra-modern project. It's going to be an expensive project.
No doubt.
It's running in trillions. Now, there are a number of people in commenting on this whole situation who thought that the bidding process was not really known. When did that happen? How did it happen? You no doubt have heard about that as well. The minister, when he was, doing his press conference, sort of sidestepped that and said, look, let him concentrate on his own core function. But what do you think about those who are bringing that, into the conversation, that it doesn't matter who has got it, High-Tech has got it. It well might be the most qualified for the job, but some are saying that by law, people need to be given chances to, counter bid. And at the end of the day, it might well be the person who got it now will get it then, but then we would have been seen to have fulfilled the law. Now, if the law has been complied with, there are those who are saying that they missed it.
Yes, that aspect is here. I've heard Umar say that it was planned for a PPP project before, but now it's going to be contract and run, and that the federal government will contribute some part. The contractor will also still contribute some part to it. The details is all quite clear, but there's need for transparency in everything that is being done. But talking about the cost, I've heard some people say, the total cost of the project, about 15 trillion naira, is almost like the total budget of all the states put together in a year. And then I said, so what? All those states put together their budget in a year is being funded by the Niger Delta oil that's coming from the Niger Delta. And if we say that, it is not true, because the project will be for 8 years. If you look at it, it's going to be like, for that 8 years, you find out that it's not going to be more than 2 trillion, 1.30 trillion per annum, during the period of the project. So when you look at the importance of the project, the area that is going to, and the cost is not too much, because if you also look at other projects in the country, look at the railway that is going to Niger Republic. Whereas we don't have enough railway here. People did not bother to criticize that project. That project costs trillions also. Today, Nigeria is still borrowing money to do a project that is going to Niger Republic. Now, this one is in Nigeria and in the oil producing area that are making sacrifice for the country. How can you say spending about less than 2 trillion for them every year for the next 8 years is too much? No.
All right.
But on issues of transparency on the award of the contract, I think the minister can make it more plain and explain it better to the people. But what I'm saying is that no matter what people are criticizing, this is a worthy project. And
all right.
The contractor has shown that he's capable of doing it.
Let me bring in our first caller, Honorable. Dr. Akeredolu has called in from Lekki. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I want to tell your guest that he has not gotten the information properly. The information the minister, the information the minister gave was
well,
I don't know. Can it be done so that we can hear him? And neither our guest nor myself can hear.
The line is breaking. The line is breaking. You said the information the minister gave was.
Yes, that's all
let me
we
hear
heard.
the balance of your question. Yeah.
Yes, of his point.
Okay. What I'm saying is this: the information given by the minister specifies that the contract has been awarded in sections, but starting from Lagos, and the sections are specified, and they are working together at the same time. That's what I'm trying to correct. Give that information to the guest there, and let Uncle Yori know what is happening.
Okay. So what you're saying again, Doctor?
Thank you. No. I've heard what he said, that the contract is awarded in sections. So, so that even makes it easier, for the contractor to also start working from those sections. Working from the section of Delta to Yeregua to DC, working from the section of Kwai Bom to Cross River, and you're no part of it. If the contractor can also mobilize in this area so that the work goes on simultaneously, it will bring more confidence to the project, and it will bring more happiness to the Niger Delta people. And don't forget that if this road is done, it's going to affect the whole country. It's going to be easier to move petroleum products from the Niger Delta up north. For instance, you have the Warri refinery is being worked on right now, will be open soon. The refinery in Port Harcourt also is being worked upon. Of course, the Dangote refinery have started. All this, we can use those roads. We can connect other roads to move these products out. And the railway that is planned in the middle of it, once that happens, of course, this infrastructure is going to provide multiply effect economically for the nation. It's not really the Niger Delta area that will benefit from it. Although the Niger Delta deserves this project. If the biggest project in this country is done in the Niger Delta, nobody can criticize it, because it's the Niger Delta that provides the majority of the money that's running the entire country. So the president has taught it very well with the Minister for Work by citing this project, the biggest project in Tinubu's first tenure in the Niger Delta area.
Well, and indeed, and as is well known, this is going to really boost tourism.
Yes.
The nature of the project.
Boost tourism, economic activities, etc., etc.
There's going to be a train running between the roads we hear. Everybody knows that this is a laudable project. The only concern is the matter of what it will affect, and the impact of that. As I said, the government has already set up what is called a compensation committee, and it's been said that the compensation rates of the federal government are much higher, for instance, than that of Lagos State, and that is what will be. Malik in Ilorin has called in. Good morning to you, sir. Mr. Malik in Ilorin.
Yes, good morning, Uncle Yori. I want to comment on the statement made by your guest.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, the issue of, though your last caller has corrected one other notion. You see, when a contract is issued and the contract does not say that the contractor can mobilize on different segments of the project, brings in another cost. So my take is that if the contractor does not have it as part of his contract, that he should mobilize on different segments. That is an additional cost to the cost of the project. I just want to make that point clear. But your last caller said that there are segments. The whole project is segmented. If the same contractor is the one that is going to be handling those segments, or different contractor, is a different ballgame. But if it's the same contractor, mobilization cost is another issue for the man to be on several spots of the project going forward. That's my comment.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much.
Malik, yes. I appreciate your concern. But for a contract of this magnitude, several kilometers, it will not be fair to just start it from one end of the road. You know, there's need for the people of the Niger Delta to have a feel of the contract. Because for you to wait for 8 years before you get, or 6-7 years before you get to your area, you know, it is in the interest of the president for this project to also start in some other part of Niger Delta, so that the people of Niger Delta will know that the president loves them, so that they can appreciate what President Tinubu is doing for them. If they just do it only in Lagos, they'll say, oh, it's because the president is from Lagos. After he finishes here, other area, the job will be abandoned. But I know it will not be abandoned. I know that cost of mobilization may be there, but this can be built in, and we have an experienced Minister for Works. I'm sure that he can find a way around this so that the job is done simultaneously from one or two other parts of the Niger Delta. You know, that's what I think about that.
Yeah, okay. And when on completion, one of the good thing about it is that it's going to reduce the travel time between Lagos and Calabar, for instance, by up to 2.5 hours. This was a contribution that was...
Seriously. Let me even come to one issue. Some people say, oh, they are going to toll the gate. If they toll the gate, the money will be too much. And I say, let's forget about the issue of tolling for now. But if you are going to, your time is going to be reduced by 2 to 3 hours on the road. If you are driving, you know that by barricading this road, you will save over 40 to 50,000 naira on petrol. So if you have to pay 3,000 naira as for toll, when you know you are saving so much, it's not going to be too much of a problem. What I'm saying is that let's not look too much at the negative parts of this road. Let the road be done. And then Nigerians can sit down. If the presidency sees that, the cost of towing is too much, they can reduce it. If they see that, the towing is not high enough, they can increase it. But the important thing is that we know that this project, as the minister said, is going to be kind of self-financing. And it's a thing that will look at the positive aspect of it. Because a project of this magnitude, if you look at the negative part of it, you may never start. Because different people will come with different interests, you know. But it's good enough that the indigenous people along the road have expressed their fear. And discussions can go ahead to meet them halfway, you know, about their fears, so that they also will be happy that this project is passing through their place. But this project has to be done. And
indeed,
we thank Mr. President for initiating this project, yes.
And still, and talking about the positives, this isn't even factoring all the economic advantages, movements of goods and all of that. As I said earlier, it's supposed
reduction
to
in cost, reduction of movement time, reduction of fuel, even reduction of cost for people who are traveling. Before, if you travel through the longer road, you pay more. Now you are going through this shorter one, you pay less. And, you know, and the road, because it's done concrete, the economic advantage, vehicles passing it will not be damaged. Other roads where you have pothole, you run into it, your tire bursts, and that kind of thing. This is a modern road. And we must commend the minister, you know, for the design of this new road.
Okay. We're going to have to leave it there, Honorable Ogene Emma Ego. A look at the Lagos-Calabar Highway, because there has been a lot of talk about it. We are following the talk, but as you have said, and most people know, there is no questioning the economic value of it, but it's just that people are saying that there are other aspects that needs to be resolved. One person has used that expression, a win-win situation, in a different context, but we just thought we'd talk about it, and we thank you for coming along to share your thoughts with us. Okay, then. Thank you very much, Honorable Ego. Okay, we'll take a break now.
For having me once more. Thank you.
Our pleasure. We'll be back to look at the other thing that happened over the weekend, Ondo politics, outcome of the APC primary election in Ondo State. And by now, you know that the incumbent governor has won the APC primary ticket. We'll look at that once we come back. Stay with us, please. Okay, welcome back. Now let's look at the weekend shadow election or primary election. And the incumbent governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has been declared to be the winner of that particular elections. He therefore becomes the APC candidate for the election later on in the year. And Governor Aiyedatiwa has wooed Akiterwa, Ibrahim, and others, to join hands with him. He's also been thanking the president, and he's urged the 15 aspirants who contested with him to work for the success of the APC to remain in power in the state. Okay, a fine morning to you, Honorable Abiola Makinde. Honorable Makinde is a member of the House of Representatives representing Ondo East, Ondo West federal constituencies. Good morning to you, Honorable.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Indeed, it is our pleasure. Okay. Any surprises in this election? Because, everybody would have been thinking that he had a very, very good shot at it. Apart from the governor, there were some big names in there. You being a key player, were there any surprises for you? Because it is reported that the governor trounced his opponents in this election.
Yeah, there are no surprises as far as the election is concerned. Let me congratulate His Excellency Lucky Orimiso Aiyedatiwa on this resounding victory at the just concluded APC primary election on Saturday. And of course, this is a testament of his popularity, his credibility, and his acceptance among party members, especially the card-carrying members of the party. Of course, there are many, many reasons why a lot of the political leaders are behind him. Almost 95% of the political leaders are behind the governor. And of course, people love him. He continued in the work of his predecessor, and he had been able to achieve a lot within a span of just 4 months. And so there are no surprises. We see him as a credible person, as someone who can lead us in the next 4 years to make a very resounding change in Ondo State. So there are really no surprises. And I use this opportunity to, to appreciate other aspirants for contesting. We are one family in APC. APC is a big family, and the election had come and gone, and I will admonish other aspirants in the spirit of sportsmanship, just to move on and close ranks with the governor. He had released a statement asking them to, close ranks with him, and let's build our party so that we can be strong in the forthcoming general elections.
What was the...
And that's my own take as well.
What was the official figure he won by? Because initially there were disturbing stories of violence and untoward practices. But ultimately, when it was declared by Governor Ondo to be the winner, what was the official figure?
I think it was around 48,000 that he scored. I don't have it offhand, but I know he scored almost about 48,000 of those votes, and that was a good one for him.
It certainly was, especially when you compare
around
it
48,000.
When you compare it with the next the person next to him, Mayowa Akinfolayan, 15,300, and then Chief Olushola at 14,800. So no wonder one of the papers on Sunday was saying that the governor had trounced the opposition. But nevertheless, he is still calling on, all those who contested with him or against him. Maybe, in fact, the way he's looking at it, he probably will be using the word with him as opposed to against him, because he wants all of them to come on board and let's work for, the good of the beloved state.
Yeah, exactly. And the governor, when he started off in his campaign, he was strategic. He called everybody, he called almost, he had a stakeholders meeting with those who support him and those who are not with him. That was the first thing he did, to woo a lot of people to himself. He called almost everybody and told them about the fact that I want to contest, and I know that some of you are here. You may not be supporting me, but hey, I'm telling all of you. And he was able to gain a lot of votes as a result of that. And it went
across the
18 local government.
Exactly. Across the 18 local governments.
Yeah, he did that. Yes, across the 18 local government, he called everybody together and told them his plan and told them he will be contesting. He is the only person that did that. Others were just targeting this kind of indirect primary strategy. Meanwhile, the governor was targeting the direct primary, the voters, the card-carrying members of the party. So that's where for example, I'm a stakeholder in the party. I was only invited, or only two candidates met with me. The governor himself, Aiyedatiwa, and Mayowa Akinfolayan. All others did not even deem it fit to see me one-on-one and talk to me about their ambition. And I'm a sitting rep member, a two-term member in the House. So you can see their strategy. Some of them targeted only ESCO member of the ward, the 27 members of the ward, of the ESCO member. Meanwhile, the direct primary involves all card-carrying members of the party. And that was where the change came from. And the governor had a resounding victory. Yes.
Okay. Let me bring in Mr. George, calling in from Ikeja.
Okay.
I beg your pardon. A caller is on the line. Good morning, Mr. George.
Uncle Yori, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Uncle Yori, I was taken aback by the unnecessary intrigue that greeted this APC primary in Ondo State. In the first place, how can you have a sitting governor who got to the office in about 3 months or so, and you didn't give him the benefit of refusing to contest? That is not a norm in a normal democracy. You were persecuting him even before he was sworn in. And all those persecutions now, you can see how it has given him more popularity with the people. It means that the people knew that he was being persecuted. I do not, those who do not know this, they should check the meaning of his names, his 3 names. Then they will know why things are happening like that. A man is what his name says. And I hope the politicians in Ondo State will learn their lessons from this.
Okay.
It's not, the intrigues are not called for. And they should learn to abide by what nature laws mean. That's all I have to say on this.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. Well, Honorable Makinde, what do you make of early reports in the election process of, violence and, it was said, of course, as the, exercise continued, that those things didn't substantially affect the result of the election. But go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Absolutely. They didn't. Those things. They didn't. They were not. Well, just about 5 to 10% out of the whole 100. I think we had issue in the Fedore, which was reported last night when the returning officers were, presenting their report. So, of course, in any election, you see 1 or 2 things here and there, but that did not affect the larger part of the election. Let me say this as a member of Rep who had led a lot of people. I've never lost any election by the special grace of God. And this is my 2nd term, and I want my election back to back. The view of the voters is this. An attempt to impeach the governor, Lucky Orimisa, when he was deputy, did not go well with a lot of voters. They didn't like it. They did not like it. And that gave him a lot of sympathy votes. They were like, leave him alone. What has he done wrong? He's a deputy governor. He should act. Why are you trying to impeach him? And that gave, like, my people are cultured in Ondo East and West, federal constituency, and our vote is always one direction at all times. That's why if you can see the result, we scored almost about 10,000 votes, because that is us. That is Ondo East and West. We are one direction. They didn't like it. Like, why would you impeach this man? What has he done wrong? He's a deputy governor. By law, he should act. What is this impeachment all about? So they kept quiet until the day of the voting. And they also discovered that some of the aspirants were behind this impeachment. They do. And of course, about 6 House of Rep members also came out to release a press statement in the capacity of House of Rep member, saying that the governor is not doing well, and an open letter to the president. And guess what? Some of these, my colleagues in the House, they are also DG of these aspirants. So, and they are now using the capacity of being a House of Rep to speak against another aspirant. I said, no, people were watching, and they disagree with that. That you,
okay.
In fact, one of them was even an aspirant. Odimayo was an aspirant. Why would you go into the House and say, oh, the Ondo caucus of House of Rep, we do not like what the governor is doing, blah, blah, blah. No. And those things they did actually gave them a very low vote. And as a result, the governor got a lot of sympathy vote at the end of the day.
Indeed. Emmanuel in Otukpo, Benue State, thank you for holding on. Go ahead now.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
I greet your guest. I have one advice, a single advice for politicians. You see, Mr. Wike has given us another color to politics in Nigeria. And I want politicians to be cautious when they do their primaries. They should do it free and fair. Now, if not, the next Wike phenomenon will come in. And it is not always palatable. So, please, make sure everything is done with the fear of God and let it be free and fair. Clear for all to see. Thank you. God bless the people of Ondo State.
Indeed, thank you. Honorable Abiola Makinde.
Can I quickly respond to that? Let me respond to that quickly. Our election was credible. Accreditation took place at the ward, and I voted as well. I'm a stakeholder in the party, and accreditation took place. Our cards were validated, and everyone that voted were counted. The videos are there on, I think, www.ondo2024sr.com. They're there for us to see. In every of the wards, accreditation took place, validation took place, and people were allowed to vote. Where we had issue was in Ifedore, and of course, it was reported. There was no violence anywhere. The gentleman that was speaking on channels yesterday was a DG of an aspirant. So what do you expect of a DG of an aspirant to say? He's going to say, oh, we lost out. All those people carrying placard, they are not the voters that we are expecting to speak. They are from one of the aspirants. So what do you expect? And that's why I admonish all the aspirants that irrespective of our differences, the governor, Lucky Orimisa, is calling all of us to close ranks. We are one family. If you don't win today, you can win tomorrow. That's politics. That's the way I look at it.
Let me bring on Hassan, calling in from Oye Ekiti. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling.
I really want to appreciate you once again. And the Azan is A-S-A-N. The Azan is A-S-A-N.
Okay, that is being corrected. Thank you, sir. Please continue.
Yes. Now, like I want to say, the Ondo State, now the election, it has come and gone. Let me put it like that. That the primary has come, the incumbent governor has been, elected as a candidate representing APC in the forthcoming election. Just like what you said, I also saw this course this morning. And when I was looking at it, it implies that the people of Ondo, to be candid, really put in sympathy vote. Just like the Honorable Makinde has said there, is a sympathy vote because I look at it, the vote of 48,000 to somebody having 14, 15, and other people like that. It implies that what they want is what they have seen. What they want is what we have seen. But the only thing I want to say now is a thanks for the governor, irrespective of the different sects or different caucus in the just concluded primary election. I want to admonish the governor to go and see them one-on-one. This is what happened in the state then, during the primary election or something like that, when Fayose caucus won and Segun caucus lost the primary. So according to that, Governor Fayose then went to meet Segun and to at least talk to him, whereas he didn't. And he didn't then, and it affected the political system and the loss. So the same thing, I don't want it to be a showstopper. They will be having different fractions in the party. So it is now done on the governor, irrespective of whatever people have done, the members of the House of Reps, just like people have said, the caucus in the House of Assembly, and even the caucus in the executive itself. It should now bring all of them to round table so that they'll be able to have a focus on a better election in the coming one. Thank you. God bless Nigeria. God bless TVC.
Thank you very much, Azan, for calling in. Well, and as he said, he really, when he saw the results, he really felt that the people of Ondo had spoken with the incumbent governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, winning with 48,569 votes. And the next closest person, Mayowa Akinfolayan, 15,343, followed by Chief Olushola at 14,865. Those figures speak very, very clearly. The governor tripled, easily, more than tripled, the number of his next closest competitor. So I suppose for you, Honorable, Abiola Makinde, all's well that ends well. The work that, Ayedatiwa and his supporters did has come to fruition. The next thing is to close ranks, get everybody to be on the same page, and take the good state of Ondo forward, I imagine. Last words now on this segment, maybe words of encouragement or whatever for the people in Ondo State.
Thank you. Well, let me first appreciate the president and also the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also our party chairman, the headquarters in Abuja, national chairman, and of course the state chairman and all the party leaders all over Nigeria for the just concluded election in Ondo State. And let me also say this, that the governor, Lucky Orimisa Ayedatiwa, is a man with good character, a man a gentleman that is willing to work with everybody. And I can assure you, he will meet with all the other 15 aspirants and will close ranks with them. He has done that in the past when the people assumed that he would not bring in some of the commissioners that served under the former governor, Akeredolu, but he surprised all of them by bringing a large chunk of them back into his own cabinet. So you can see an example of his good character. So I can assure you that even this one, he will go around and make sure that he close ranks with them. Even without waiting for them to come, he will reach out to them, and I can assure you that APC will win in the next general election by the special grace of God.
Okay, we've got to leave it there. I want to thank you very much, Honorable Abiola Makinde, Member, House of Representatives, Ondo East and Ondo West Federal Constituency. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the program. Okay, that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.